Hi everyone, it's Giselle with a message for today, and I wanted to share some common themes that have popped up over the past couple of days as I've been doing healings and also reading sessions for people. I've seen in quite a few instances now that issues are coming up that need to be healed that are beyond our childhoods, and I'm actually being shown an image of these people I'm doing the healings and readings for, of them in the womb. Because when you are being created, your parents' energy also form part of your creative energies. And if there are problems that are coming through from that, then this will manifest and you can carry that even unknowingly. Because I've seen instances where people have been heavily affected by negativity, such as maybe, a problem in the relationship of their parents, perhaps not being faithful, or money problems, or other types of problems, um, jealousy, resentment, anything that, is very heavily embedded in the mother's energy affects the child already in the womb. And this is also why we pick up so many things very easily when we're so very little, not just in the womb, but also very susceptible when you're like a couple of years old and you hear that your parents are constantly fighting about money, or um, if there have been some, marital problems. There's so much that you are susceptible to and you carry through. And as a result of that, you may not trust people, you may not think that the other gender is reliable, or that money is so hard to come by, and that you'll always struggle because you were born in poverty and you'll never be able to get out of that. And so, yeah, a lot of these things have started to come through very strongly. Um, very recently, a lot of childhood stuff, even if it's things that have been directly imprinted onto you, maybe a parent wasn't very kind and told you that maybe you didn't look the way that you should in order to deserve love and things like that. That's also been coming up. It's very unfortunate that these things have been projected upon us. And I would say the majority of people that I do healings and readings for will have something like that that is still unresolved and buried deep, deep down, very painful. And, these are only a few examples, but there's tons more. Some very traumatic things have also come through that I don't really want to get into, not to trigger people, but yeah, some horrific stuff has come through. And even in people who on paper would look so ideal and you think, wow, what have you got to be unhappy about? They are deeply hurting and depressed and extremely burdened with so much stuff. And these things can come out in addictions or self-sabotage, self-loathing, all sorts of negative patterns and behaviors may start to form, or even unknowingly, your body can start to hold on to food in such a way that no matter what you do, you just can't shift the weight. It happens. And so I'm focusing some healing on those kind of things now. And I wanted to share that here on my channel in case this is something that resonates with you and that you've been wondering about. You aren't alone. This is a common thing that's now been coming up more and more with so many people. It's a theme. And it's something that we are all working through to shift that, because you don't want to be in that energy. You don't want your body to store unnecessary layers of fat just because you need comforting in some way, and that's the only way that you can get that comfort. And then, of course, it doesn't make you feel good because you don't want to be that particular weight or shape. You think, my God, I'm not even eating and I'm still putting on weight. How is that even a thing? It's due to the emotional pain. So many of things, something that happened with me last year stemmed from emotional pain. And I was very lost and very sad. And I thought, why is this happening to me? I don't deserve this. And of course I didn't, but it was emotional pain, guilt and shame, and all sorts of negative beliefs that I clung on to. As soon as I let it go, I was able to release and heal the issue that I had very quickly. But a lot of the issues that we do carry in our bodies are as a result of emotional internalizing of very painful things, whether that's things that have happened to us or things that we've done to ourselves because of a certain thing, out of fear and guilt. These things do form and start to come out in very painful ways. Another theme I've also found is still the thymus clearing, the hand chakras, and the third eye and ear chakras as well. The third eye and ear chakras always present itself like a halo around the head. And as soon as that clears up, it makes telepathic communication between the two beloveds so much more effortless, because not only can you project your thoughts very easily for them to grasp, you'll also be able to receive through the ears very noticeable responses. And this is something I wanted to clarify, because some people don't understand how my channeling works, and they say, "Oh, you seem to translate it in your language or your words." But that's because the way that, and you'll find this too once you've had the chakra clearings for the third eye and the ears, is that messages are being downloaded in thought blocks, in emotional waves, sometimes pictures, but they're not usually sentences. I did a channeled letter for somebody, and she said, "Oh, I get the gist of what he's trying to say to me, but I feel that you're using British terminology." And I'm like, well, yeah, I can only translate the feeling from the words that I know. Do you know what I mean? So the feeling of the channeled information has to be translated through me. That's why I've had channeled letters from other readers, and they clearly translate it in their way of speaking, So that's how channeling works. It's not like someone's there and whispering in your ear word for word, "Oh, tell her this." It doesn't. It's more translating an emotion, translating a feeling in your body. It's stepping into that person's energy and feeling what they're feeling, experiencing what they're experiencing, but not in words, in blocks of thought, in waves of emotions, in feelings in the body, like my arms aching or, something like that. But not actually sentence per sentence, word per word. That's why I will probably say something from, your person may be from a different country, and I'll be using my vocabulary to translate what they're saying. And yes, it will sound like me speaking, of course, because I'm the translator. But I hope that clears things up, and you will discover this for yourself as soon as you're able to get this kind of information for yourself. So yeah, these were quite intense healing themes that have come through, very painful childhood experiences needing to come up to the surface. But as soon as they get released, you don't need to look back. You can just release them for good, and there is no need to sit in that pain anymore. So the next batch of discounted healings will be coming up for the new moon, which I think is around the 6th. No, not new moon. We've had the new moon. The full moon, which I think is around the 16th, but I'll double check. And I think I may start a mailing list because I don't want to bombard people with notifications on WhatsApp going, I've got a promotion on. Like, I don't know. Some people like that, and I'll continue doing it for the people who said, yeah, please send me promotions individually because I like them. But I don't know. I feel awkward sending it to everybody because I don't want to bombard people who don't even want to purchase anything. So I think I may start a mailing list. Let me know in the comments if you think that's a good idea. If you would like to connect with me and purchase any of my offers, I'm still doing offers, by the way. It's not because the new moon and the full moon isn't on that there's no offers. There are a ton of offers on my website, on my special offers page. They are just different. They're not 3 for 2. So you're not going to get 30%, well, 33% off everything as you are with the 3 for 2 healings and readings. But they are certainly, 25% off things and all sorts of offers like that anyway, still ongoing at the moment. I'm also launching my coaching program for people who want to become more intuitive, well, be guided onto their journey of finding their own intuition. So if you're struggling with connecting, meditating, channeling, anything like that, or even manifesting or whatever you need coaching on, that's not actually me doing a intuitive reading for you, just you want my help as somebody who's experienced in this field, then you can book those coaching sessions. They are cheaper than normal readings. And I'm also doing the question bundles for coaching. So if you thought, I'm trying to find my path on being more intuitive, but I don't want to sit on the phone for half an hour, I want to just be able to ask you questions as and when, then there are also question bundles, either the 10 questions for £15 on coaching questions, or I'm doing a 3 for 2 on that as well, which is you buy 3 bundles and you only pay for 2. So you're getting 30 questions for £30 on the coaching questions. And I'm still doing that for readings too. So that is all on my website. Please follow the link in the description. I thank you all so very much for watching. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.